Mikey Mike, what's up, buddy?
We're live. Yeah, man. Hey, what's up, bud?
I'm not a lot. So I wanted to catch up with you real quick about your first month at eXp. So, eXp is quite a new business model in the real estate space. And so there's, not a lot of people know about the model. And, there's a lot to it, but wanted to see how you transitioned over what, a month ago?
About 6 weeks.
Okay. And just kind of wanted to see what your experience was, one, on onboarding, two, like what's your experience been for the last 30 days making the move?
Well, it's been, like you said, a lot of people don't know about or understand the model. I was one of them. And once you explained it to me, we talked about it, it made sense. And so moving over it was pretty seamless. That was one of the things that kept me from wanting to make the move, was the fear of all the chaos involved. And you had created this really cool, basically a step-by-step playbook that aligned perfectly with what eXp sends you, all the emails they send you. So it was pretty seamless. I mean, I really didn't have to do a lot. My administrative team helped me out a lot, but we moved all our contracts over and all of our listings. And I mean, it was pretty seamless on the back end. It was a lot of thanks to you for getting that set up. But one of the things that I've noticed is the collaboration part of it. And I knew that there was going to be collaboration. I talked to some of the guys before I came over, but being in these groups, with the Honey Badger group and the Be Different Mastermind and the Fast Forward movement, it's unbelievable. I mean, the stuff Dan and Kyle and Jay are putting out there, and Brent Gove and you, it's every day I get a nugget, some sort of nugget that I implement in the business. Which used to be a coaching call once a week. Now it's just coming at me from all directions. So I think the collaboration is one of the biggest things. I'm not a small team, but we're 30 million, almost 100 units, and talking to these guys that are doing 300 and 400 units and 200 and 300 million, and they're just dropping this knowledge on us all the time. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. And that's one of the biggest things that I liked. And, honestly, for both you, our businesses are very similar in a lot of senses, and we've kind of grown up together. And you and I are constantly looking around going, all right, so get to 30 million. Now how do you get to 60 million? Yeah. And it's been pretty awesome just to be able to have, and you and I both know, we've both had coaches, and those coaching calls have been great, and they're expensive. I mean, they're like 1,500 to 2K a month of coaching, super important. But within eXp's business model, 1 through revenue share, but then 2 through stock, it financially aligns everybody, let's say in our upline, right? Because we have the company rewards agents through revenue share and stock by helping them grow the company. And what it does, it gives us such great financial alignment. And so all the people in our world, like the Jays and the Kyles and the Dans, and I could go on and on, because man, the amount of people can call, like I could go on and on, John Pugh, all these people that we've hung out with, these masterminds, they've dropped so much knowledge. The masterminds are such high level that I can't take enough notes at any given time to implement into the business. And usually those are expensive coaching calls. Now I can schedule a 30-minute call with Dan, and, and Dan and Kyle started doing, they do live Q&As every other Monday. Mm-hmm. And there's the amount of production that's on those calls is pretty fascinating. So yeah, I think the collaboration is second to none. And it's production focused, right? It's business oriented focused. So that's been great. So what else on your end have you seen just in your first 30 days? Obviously we talked, collaboration, what's your thoughts on kind of the tech tools, the platform, eXp World, any of the stuff that you've come over to see? Because you've actually, your assistant works virtually, correct?
Yeah, and that's another. I hired an assistant who lives in North Carolina. I don't, and she's doing great, and she's really super techie, and she can figure everything out. I guess one of the things, the back end, you and I don't have a whole lot to do in the back end because we're in production. Yep. But we've got to know about it, and our closing coordinator and my assistant love it. And for me to go in, you go into the world. If you need something, you go in and you can go to any broker support, tech support, any kind of support, and somebody's there.
Yeah.
And they're right there, and you don't have to get in the car and go anywhere. And also, you know, the transaction management system is pretty amazing. I mean, it's SkySlope is right on point. It's really easy to maneuver in there. You can see all your numbers are right there in front of you, all your transactions, your GCI. It's like the coolest spreadsheet ever. It keeps up with all of it for you, and it's real easy to maneuver through there. I mean, the technology on the back end, it's seamless. And for guys like us, you know, like me, you know me, I'm always like you. I'm on the phone setting appointments, going on appointments, and getting listings and buyers. And it's got to be smooth on the back end for me to do what I need to do on the front end.
Yep.
And the whole thing was seamless. I mean, I can't say enough about it. From the collaboration to the technology, getting everything set up. It was like we didn't skip a beat when we moved over. I mean, it was, and every day it's just like we've always had it. It's wonderful.
It's a cool platform. I mean, if you think about it, like we have large teams, and I think people looking from outside the industry in have a hard time understanding teams.
Yeah.
But what eXp's done is built a platform with which the teams can build their businesses on, right? And one of the biggest questions I get, because when they find out like we're a virtual broker, right? We're the Netflix of the real estate industry.
Yeah.
They're like, well, do you have a broker? I'm like, this magic fairy that lives up in the sky. No, it's, you know, we have software that you literally walk your avatar in, you walk into your broker's office and it's Kim or Blaine, and we're asking questions as if we were in the physical office space. So once people, they hear about it, they're like, so do you guys have brokers? Yeah, of course we have brokers. But the fun part is once they actually jump into eXp world, which is the software, our own world that we can actually walk into, our avatar can walk into their office and say, hey, Kim, what's up? Got a quick question for you, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's just like you're going in. I mean, it's just like going into the regular brick and mortar, except there's no brick and mortar. And I think that's one of the hard things for people to understand. So for me, it was. And then, you know, after I've moved, I've probably had, I don't know, like you, 10, 20 agents call me. Wow, I saw you move. Tell me about it. You know, a lot of agents feel like they have to be going into an office and into a brick and mortar, and your cap pays for that brick and mortar. And with eXp, there is no brick and mortar. And so the company rewards you for helping people grow the company. And that's a very different model than all the rest of the models. And I think once people business-minded agents start to see that, they'll start to get it. And it's a lot of people are already making a move. I mean, I'm talking to 2 or 3 people every week that are getting ready to move over, because it's such a seamless transition, and it's just set up for the realtor and the agent to grow.
Yeah. Well, I think it's definitely the next, in my opinion, it's the future of real estate. And, you know, COVID exposed that in that, 3-month period that we were kind of in lockdown, to where everybody kind of turned to Zoom, and like how it was business as usual for us, because within the eXp World platform, I mean, I'm sitting on, because, you know, I hit Icon Agent here, and they, as part of your culture requirements to get paid your full cap back in company stock, I sit on mastermind Icon panels, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's not on a Zoom call. Like literally, I'm standing on a stage virtually with 3 or 4 other icons, with 20 to 50 people in the audience, right? Other agents from around the world. And as the icons are masterminding, they're taking notes, they're asking questions, and we're all doing it via technology. So to me, it's a completely different business model. It's a new innovator into the real estate space. So so it's kind of cool. And then obviously you're operating with your assistant virtually, so then she can tap into all, basically going to EX World. She can talk to the broker. She can attend classes. Obviously through a lot of things that we've set up, you know, in conjunction with eXp, from online training courses. That's where the collaboration, because we've seen what collaboration looks like, right? Because we all know that, to me, the greatest learning in the business, a broker provides you a platform and some tools. and then they broker the deal, right? And I would say broker A to broker B doesn't broker the deal any better, any worse. Where it really comes down to me, is at the agent level, because the agents are the ones elbow to elbow in the trenches, learning, yep, growing businesses, and we're the ones always trading the information. And what eXp's done through all the financial alignment yep, is helping all agents win, because they're rewarding agents to help the company grow. And as we teach each other and help each other with our businesses, everybody gets rewarded. So that was one of the really cool things, when you and I talk about sharing that. So,
well, cool, what else? You mentioned virtual. I mean, like I've got two virtual assistants. I've got a virtual closing coordinator, which I've had for 5 years. One of my virtual assistants I've had for 6 months. The other one I've had for 2 months. I mean, I've got my own, like you, I've got my own, I own an office. I own an office condo, and I pay for it. And my agents come in here, but everything's everything that you need with eXp is in the world, and it's in the eXp workplace, and it's all there. And it's the thing I want to stress to everybody that may be listening is, it is like, we are busy. We close, 10 transactions a month, and sometimes more. We didn't skip a beat when we came up. It was like one day's Monday, the next day's Tuesday. Nothing changed. It was like, exactly. It was just like that. I couldn't believe it. And so when you say COVID exposed everything, I mean, it exposed it big time. And we're all like, now, I couldn't imagine being in a brick and mortar situation with the technology we have with eXp. I mean, it doesn't make sense, really.
Yeah. And and the other thing too, with commission compression and a lot of the other things that go on in the industry, commercial space is going to take a little bit of a beating too. But just the cost of own brick and mortar with a little bit of commission compression, it's going to be harder for the brick and mortars to, compete, or their profit margins are going to dramatically decrease. Where this virtual model, it's so different, right? Because everybody's trying to compare brand A to brand B, and I hearken it back to when you've seen the changes over the years to where the broker was on top with Coldwell Banker back in the early 1900s, because they held all the information. They had the books and everything. And then, fast forward, RE/MAX kind of changed the game, because then they went to a high split model, and they dominated the Atlanta market. And then comes this little company out of Austin, Keller Williams, who brought in a completely new business model with a cap and then profit share. And then they've dominated for 20 years. Now comes this little company, eXp, a virtual brokerage, this upstart from Bellingham, introduces a completely new model, right? This is virtual model, revenue share, stock, is completely changing the game again. So it's fascinating, as you and I've been in it long enough to have seen a few things. Well, cool, man. Anything else you want to share on this call with us? I just wanted to see what your first 30 days was like. So far it's been great from our collaboration level, just between team to team. Hey, it's in like we've talked about many times, like, hey man, my playbook's your playbook. And which is kind of people, talk to this a little bit. Like, you and I are in the same market, not only in the same Atlanta market, we both also in Roswell.
We're Roswell, man. Yeah.
Most people would think naturally we're competitors, right? But I think it's a very abundant model in that, we share everything. It's like, listen, we can sell 200 homes a year. You can sell 200 homes a year. Would be great. I think the partnership level that we've been able to create, and then eXp rewards us for that, has been fantastic. What's your experience with that from what you've seen thus far, not only between maybe us or Dan or Kyle or any of the people you've been involved with so far?
Well, like you said it 100%. So there's so much opportunity out there. And we got two guys that are selling, close to 200 homes a year in Roswell, and we don't ever cross paths there's so many listings out there. I don't think I see your signs sometimes, but I don't think we've ever been on a listing appointment where we're competing. And, you and I both have the abundant mindset that there's so much business, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And like, I share everything I have with you, you share everything you have with me.
Yeah.
Dan Beard, out in San Diego, like, what do you need? If you need to talk to somebody on my team, that's the kind of people that you want to be around, because there's no scarcity. It's just, it's all abundance, and that's the whole mantra of eXp. There's so much out there, so much information to help everybody. I was talking to an agent yesterday, and there's a lot of agents right now that are thinking of switching companies, and do I stay here? Do I stay there? And I tell them all the same thing. I said, look, you've got to do your diligence. You're a business owner,
Yep.
and talk to all the brokers. Look at all the models, every one of them, and know them and understand them, and then make the best business decision for you and your family and your team. Yep. And not only collaboration, but financially, what to break them all down. Some of these companies, I'm not going to mention the name, but some of these companies have an 80-20 never ending, no cap. You just pay 20 for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
And, with eXp, you pay 20 cap, and then you get it back in stock. And I think that everybody needs to just take a look at all of them and be curious and ask questions, come from curiosity and find out, hey, is this the right thing for me? And I think at the end of the day, that'll help them make the best decision. It was exactly what you and I did. We both poked holes. Hey, Mike, you said, Mike, poke holes in this thing.
Yeah.
And I told you the same thing. Man, change my mind.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, you got to pick the brokerage that works for you. There's plenty out there, right? That's why Baskin Robbins has 52 flavors. To each person, I think, the person that may be looking for, hey, what's the cheapest thing? The challenge is I think once agents, especially as it progresses, the dollars that they're paying the brokerage are less, because what they start realizing, the currency becomes the knowledge and who you're around.
Right.
To gain that knowledge, if you're at kind of let's just call it a flat fee broker because they only charge you X dollars per transaction. Well, typically there's not a lot of top producers there, rarely, right? So a lot of the other top producers realize that whatever dollars they are paying their broker, they're investing into being around other top agents. So I can be around you. We can learn from each other and grow our businesses, right? eXp, we actually get rewarded. We get our full cap back in stock. And I just finished my first year. I iconed, and that's where you can get your stock back or your cap back in stock. And I got most of my shares awarded at $8. And as of today, I think I saw it up to $54. So I did okay this year in getting my stock back. But yeah, I think that's where most goes. They have to make a decision for them, what fits. eXp is not going to be for everybody. But for those that are looking for a high level of collaboration, if you look just at the financial model alone, it's a no-brainer. Now, it takes you a little bit to break it down and understand it. But then once you understand the financial model, then it's like, all right, what are the other pieces? And, I won't speak for you, but you and I've talked about it. It's just been the level of collaboration, getting around people that can help us that are financially invested. I mean, they're basically fiduciaries, because as we do better, they earn through revenue share and stock by helping us grow our businesses from 30 million to 60 million.
Right.
So,
well, that's why they open their playbook, is because we're all financially aligned. And, if nothing else, like eXp is not going to be for everybody.
Correct.
But I think those that do their diligence and look at all of the different models, once you look at it from a financial perspective, there really is no other choice if you're a business-minded person. Yep. But like you said about there's a lot of agents out there looking for the cheaper fees and the lower cap. And that's great. That's a little more on the scarcity side, when I think that everybody should be thinking, how do I double my business?
Yeah.
And not worry about all that. And make sure that you are aware of what that looks like financially. If you did double your business, you have to know your numbers. And a lot of agents don't do that, and they need to do their diligence before they move anywhere.
Yeah.
But that's, I talk to probably 2 or 3 people a week that I break it down for. So this is what it looks like. And like Jay Kinder said, you can't unsee it once you've seen it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think the bigger picture too, if I'm looking really, really big picture, in the time that I made the move, one of the big things that I felt like I was running in place a little bit. The other thing too is, I do in a lot of investments. I know you're getting involved in some investments, right? Because we know our real estate businesses are pretty much just cash vehicles, right? Because it's really hard to sell a sales business unless you own a brokerage. At eXp, we can kind of own our own virtual brokerage just by growing our downline. But then we use that cash to do investments. Well, I was talking to a lot of agents because they don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, meaning retirement. And I've said this in a couple different groups, and it sounds bad, but it's somewhat true. Real estate agents never retire; they just die.
Yeah.
Well, now, because brokerages aren't offering 401ks or anything else. However, through eXp's business model, one, the revenue share is so great, and through company stock, we're all stock owners now of the company.
Yeah.
So as the company does better and you are building up your stock, well, now you have a portfolio, right? You can go cash it out if you want after it vests, or now you have some options for retirement, which to me was, once I saw 2 additional income streams,
yeah,
a potential retirement plan through stock, because as we all do better, the companies had the last 3 quarters have been profitable. Sales have like doubled every quarter. Because it's a publicly traded company, right? People can go look up the stock. I mean, I think our market cap's like $3 billion, maybe more.
Yeah.
Larger than Remax, Rheology, maybe even Redfin. I think Zillow's the only one we're not bigger in. In any event, what it's done is it's really elevated the agent to the top now, where the broker used to be. Now the agent's at the top.
Yeah.
And eXp just created this. Glenn created this brilliant platform for us to do what we've always done, is just sell houses. However, with the vehicles of, rev share and stock, has now given us the ability to help other agents, right, grow, help our teams grow. And then down the road, now we've got a retirement plan or something that's substantial, that an agent can be like, well, hey, now I've got 50K, 100K, 150K, whatever it is in stock. Mm-hmm. Now they've got something they're building for retirement, which to me was huge. That was big. Because most of us, we just pay in our whatever 18K a year and we're done.
Yeah.
Actually, eXp paid me a fairly sizable check just to be here for what I made through stock and revenue share this year. So, hey, when you're paying you to be at your broker, it's a pretty good day.
Well, your first deal, when you close your first deal, they give you stock. So you're automatically an owner in the company right away. And like you said, like for me, I'm 51. I've been selling real estate at a pretty high level for about 10 years. With a different brokerage, which I was very happy there. But like, you got to start thinking about the end game. And unless you've made some really savvy moves in the stock market, or you've bought a lot of investment properties, because you can't save your way to retirement. You can save a lot, but you have to have some other additional income streams. And I think that was probably one of the big drivers for me, was getting access to the different revenue streams. Because if I pay the same thing in I did at the other brokerage, I'll be sitting on almost $200,000 in stock in 10 years, and that's if it doesn't go up.
Exactly. That's if it doesn't do anything.
Right.
I guess it can go down from what the shares were issued at, but yeah, so that's definitely a huge upside for sure. Yeah. So yeah, I think it was Glenn's genius. And the thing that I like too is top to bottom, even in the corporate, let's call it the C-suite, they're all agents. Glenn's a former mega agent, right?
Oh yeah.
It's CEO of the company. And I love the fact that the first transaction you do at eXp, you get stock. And so does the person that sponsored you in, right? Because Glenn thought I want every single agent in this company to be a true owner of eXp. And that to me there's something to be said for that. And eXp bootstrapped their way up. They have no debt. They didn't do an IPO. They basically bootstrapped their way up to where they're at, from a penny stock to where it's like 52, 54, whatever it's floating, been bouncing around in the 50s. And so it is definitely an agent built company and an agent run company. And there's leadership opportunity top to bottom in this company like I've never seen before. And meeting Dave Kennord and Gene Frederick, Brent Gove, we could go on and on name wise, is the leadership in this company is tremendous. And they're all agents, right?
They're all realtors. Yeah, everyone.
They know what we've gone through. They know what we fight every day. And to be on the leading end too of technology with eXp Worlds is pretty fabulous. So, well, cool, brother. Hey, man, it was good to see you. Hopefully, we'll actually see you in person sometime soon. Until we do, one of these next calls. Anything you need, where we're at.
You got it, brother. You too, man. I'll see you later. Thanks for your time today. I'll see you,
brother. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Okay.